Yeah, so let me first tell you how the news is, how the initial news sounds. In Ukrainian, it's Верховна Рада проголосувала за правки, які позбавляють НАБУ та САП незалежності. Депутати аплодують. Now I'm gonna translate it for you. This is the news from Sternenko, and not only him, everyone is talking about it today in Ukrainian press. Let me begin with the news. So, Verkhovna Rada, the Ukrainian parliament today has passed amendments that strip the National Anti-Corruption Bureau and the Special Anti-Corruption Prosecution Office of their independence. So it stripped them of their independence. Members of parliament applauded for this. Let's see how those fuckers applauded. And it's just terrible. You see, Yulia Tymoshenko is walking there, and some motherfucker kissed her in her cheek, but the most happy person there is a fucking Buzhansky. Buzhansky is a pro-Russian deputy who is still sitting in the parliament and who is being allowed to actually sanction such amendments. It's him who did this today, but let me show him to you first. There, that motherfucker to the right, applauding, standing and applauding in the black t-shirt. The one. He is the one. Let's see. Heroyam fucking slava. These are the heroes of today, guys. Ukrainian heroes who are stripping the anti-corruption institutions in Ukraine of its independence and trying to just keep corruption unseen and unprosecuted and uninvestigated. Fantastic. What does the law actually says? I'm going to explain to you. Here's the text. It's not all from the law, but you see these points marked with yellow. These are the points from the law. So let me read this for you. I'm translating it in the other browser, so let me read. This is the statement by the NABU Civil Oversight Council. So guys, NABU, this National Anti-Corruption Bureau, has the Oversight Council. So this is a statement of them but regarding the review of amendments to Bill number 12414, which could undermine the independent functioning of the National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine, NABU, and the Specialized Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office, SAPO, S-A-P-O, in English it is, in Ukrainian SAP, S-A-P. The NABU Civil Oversight Council expresses concern over the fact that today the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine is preparing the review amendments to Bill number 12414, which could significantly impact the work of Ukraine's anti-corruption institutions. In particular, the proposed changes would grant the Prosecutor General the authority to, and it will list the points, 4 points, guys. So it will give the right to the prosecutor's office. And I remind you that prosecutor's office in Ukraine is not independent. It is fully dependent on the office of the president, and it will basically tell NABU what to do and how to do it, and shut down the cases and stuff like that. So let me read you the list once again. So the proposed changes would grant the Prosecutor General the authority to, first, remove cases from NABU, from NABU's jurisdiction and assign them to other investigative bodies. Second, it will grant the Prosecutor General the authority to act as the de facto head of SAPO and delegate SAPO, which is SAPO, Special Anti-Corruption Prosecution Office, and delegate SAPO prosecutors' powers to other prosecutors. Third, it will give him the authority to issue binding written instructions to NABU detectives. So the general prosecutor will be able to write them the instruction to the detectives of NABU. And the fourth thing, it will give him the authority to independently close proceedings involving high-ranking officials. Can you imagine? So they will be just closing the cases. Next, the procedural autonomy of SAPO would also be significantly restricted. First, SAPO prosecutors would lose the ability to assign NABU jurisdiction in exceptional cases. The SAPO head would no longer be able to resolve jurisdictional disputes over cases that NABU may investigate. The SAPO head would be stripped of the power to amend appellate, power to amend appellate or cassation complaints submitted by SAPO prosecutors. So next, it's crazy. Next, we also draw attention to a potential violation of Article 116 of the Rules of Procedure of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine, as the proposed amendments fundamentally alter the scope and subject of Bill number 12414. Given the lack of public access to the text of the amendments and reports of a possible vote in the near future, so it was before the vote, guys. They published this statement just in the morning, but at 1 p.m. today, they already voted for this amendment, for fuck's sake. So it is doing like very speedily, and they are trying to not let people react to that. They are trying to do it as fast as possible to not let us somehow influate, give our influence to what is going to happen in the end. So, given the lack of public access to the text of the amendments and reports of a possible vote in the near future, we believe it is essential to publicly urge members of parliament to consider that passing such changes could jeopardize not only the independence of NABU and SAPO, but also public trust in the entire anti-corruption system. The NABU Civil Oversight Council calls on the members of parliament not to support this legislative changes. NABU and SAPO were created with the support of international partners as independent institutions protected from political influence, and they must remain as such. Exactly. Amazing statement. And next thing is, which is very important, is that European Union already reacted to this amazing fuck up and outrageous, disgusting act of our parliament and of our government in general. When I say government, I mean like the state, all the institution, presidential office, government, parliament, all of them are involved into this. Because without the presidential issuing of this with the hands of a pro-Russian deputy, this won't be happening. Thank you for the translations, Rick. This will hurt EU integration. It is already hurting it. So guys, let me translate this text for you. It's also very important because it's already affecting our European Union accession. And you see, the problem is, it seems our government right now, with the same president, wants to just stop being stop trying to get into the European Union. They seem to just taking the course away from the European Union with all the shit that is happening today, and with the preparation to this before that, because it's not the first day we're talking about this in Ukraine. You know, we saw them preparing for this shit. All elections are on hold due to the war, right? So these Rada people stay in office the whole war? Yes, exactly, Cass. They are staying there from 2019 for 6 fucking years. They actually don't have that many like legal electing elected laws, sorry, not laws, but rights to stay there. They should be re-elected. But of course, we cannot do this during the war because it's impossible, obviously. So they are using this situation to just shit on us, shit on the citizens of Ukraine, to piss into our faces and laugh while they're fucking doing this. This is what is happening right now. This is a bad clusterfuck, exactly. The European Union has expressed concern over Ukraine's recent actions regarding this anti-corruption its anti-corruption institutions, NABU and SAPO. This was stated by European Commission spokesperson Guillaume Mercier, or Monsieur, I don't know how it is in French, but he emphasized that these institutions are key to reform and must operate independently to effectively combat corruption. The spokesperson added that significant financial assistance from the EU significant financial assistance from the EU depends on progress in transparency and reforms. Furthermore, a strong capacity to fight corruption is a requirement for Ukraine's accession to the EU. According to Mercier, the European Union will continue to closely monitor the situation. So, guys, first of all, it is a requirement for them to stay independent to Ukraine, for Ukraine's accession into European Union, and they still do it. You think those deputies from the parliament, they don't know this? You think the president doesn't know this? You think in the office of the president, Yermak doesn't know this, or Tatarov, or other members of our government? Or you don't think the prime minister knows that? They perfectly fucking know that those institutions must remain independent, and they want to, like, bluntly, openly, brazenly make it dependent. It's just outrageous. So European Union noticed this. It is not that easy to just take and hide it, you know, and they already reacted to this. Yeah, let's talk about this ugly deputy, a pro-Russian fuck who on Ukrainian television, on our national television, refuses to speak Ukrainian. Can you imagine? A Ukrainian deputy who says, "Я буду говорить на том языке, на каком я хочу, понятно?" He said that in Russian. He said, "I will speak on such a language that I will choose and what I think is correct." And he said it in Russian. So this pro-Russian element who is connected to Russia, and he was given the pro-Russian statement during the whole full-scale invasion. He's sitting in Rada, and he was the one who today did this. Let me actually translate it for you, because how to correctly say what he did in terms of law and all of that, I don't know. So guys, the amendments to Bill number 12414, which place NABU and SAPO under the authority of the prosecutors of the Prosecutor General, were introduced, among others, by the controversial MP Maxim Buzhansky. We should say it in Russian, because he's speaking Russian, and he's a fucking Russian, and he's soul. He's Maxim Buzhansky. Say it in Russian. So, specifically, one of the provisions grants the Prosecutor General the right to issue written instructions to the head of the pre-trial investigation body, which must be followed. These instructions may require the submission of the pre-trial investigation materials specifying the deadline and manner of compliance. The Prosecutor General would also be authorized to close investigations at the request of the defense, personally sign notices of suspicion against top officials, and more. Meanwhile, the bill has already been signed by the Speaker of the Verkhovna Rada and sent to the President of Ukraine for signing. So, guys, he basically introduced these amendments, among others, this Maxim Buzhansky, Remember his face. This is one of the traitors of Ukraine who remains in Ukrainian parliament and who is introducing such amazing amendments. And now let's see an amazing video on which you can see how he is celebrating in Verkhovna Rada right there at that moment. You see how happy this motherfucker is? How he thinks that he is above law and above everyone else because he has money, influence, and he is indulged by Ukrainian special services, by probably the presidential office. This is fucking outrageous. Traitors of Ukraine can be doing this. Can be just pissing into our faces and just also hitting it after. The fact is, we have the list of 263 deputies who voted for, if I'm not mistaken, it's 263 of them. My friends, I know that I mostly need to talk about the news, and this matter is important, and you see it's blowing me up, and I'm just like, I'm burning. You can see that. I'm outraged, and I'm screaming, and I'm hyperactive, and I cannot shut the fuck up, because I should not shut the fuck up. We should raise our voices. We should not be intimidated by our government. We should not be fucking scared and fucking sit there, you know, and just shake in the corner while they're gonna be ripping our country apart and our rights together with it. This should not be done. We're gonna go on the street today. All the activists and volunteers in Ukraine, believe me, it's gonna be thousands of people there. 263 traitors in Ukrainian parliament voted for it. They are corrupt people whose names must be known. If you vote for the corrupt amendment, that means you're corrupt, right, guys? It's that fucking simple. If you want to push the amendment, which will destroy the independence of anti-corruption institutions in Ukraine, then you're a fucking corrupt person. So these are the names. So Ukrainians gathered today in Kyiv, and not only in Kyiv, guys. People were gathering in Lviv, in Ternopil, Vinnytsia, Poltava, Odessa. I heard about the Cherkasy also, in Kharkiv, and the protests will continue tomorrow. Zelensky had the chance to put a veto on the law today, on this amendment that was passed by the parliament, and he unfortunately signed this. That means he agrees with this corruption amendment that basically cripples our anti-corruption institution. So guys, on the protest in Kyiv, there were thousands of people. This was a small square. You see some signs like "Welcome to Russia" or "Ratsa," you know. This is my sign. I gotta thank my wife for making it while I was finishing the stream. A lot of people were screaming and chanting, "Put the veto on the law," or "veto on the law." And Zelensky did not put the veto.